made. Smoother than your smoothest criminal. ShannoN, about that money, what we get into. ShannoN, about that money, get residuals. ShannoN.
What it do, people? You're now tuned in.
Popovich
TV.
Oh yeah.
We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. To everybody else, you already know. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game, people. And we in the end game because Mr. Put Your Glasses Back On, SkiP BaYLess, is reportedly walking away from Undisputed at the end of the summer. And just last year, after the NBA Finals, we seen ShannoN Sharp, you know what I mean, bounce after their confrontation and put your glasses back on. And I ain't no scrub. Y'all remember that. And we see the numbers drop, the viewership dip. And even though SkiP brought on, Keyshawn Johnson, who I rock with, Rachel Nichols, who I like, Paul Pierce, who I definitely rock with. He should have never got let go from ESPN. And even Richard Sherman. It just wasn't adding up to what him and Shannon Sharp built. And SkiP left First Take, I believe, in 2016. He went over there, so it's been like a good 8 years. And, he first joined Cold Pizza in 2012. And then they brought Stephen A on. I think they brought Stephen A on 2012, and he joined in 2010 or whatever. But, they rise to prominence was at like the same time. And that debate style format. And we see, it has worked, obviously, for Stephen A. since he stayed, and with Max Kellerman and different other people. And it definitely worked for SkiP BaYLess and Shannon Sharp over there on Undisputed. But now that he's reportedly leaving, or in some, cases, what I see spinning in the clip is he's being fired. I don't think he's being fired, and even if he is, they're not going to spin it like that. I believe he got one year on his contract left, because I believe he signed in 2022, a 4-year contract, or maybe it wasn't in 2020. So his contract is either up or he got a year left. And the thing is, what's going to happen now is people finally hearing SkiP BaYLess give his takes on the Cowboys and LeBron James not being clutch. Is he going to hang it up? Is he going to go independent, which he does have the BaYLess podcast, but I kind of think that's under Fox Sports. So if he leaves, I'm not sure if he'll still be under the umbrella. But what should he do? Should he go back to ESPN? Should he hang it up? I mean, he is one of the hardest working men in showbiz, if you ask me. He's definitely in great shape. 72 years old. It's reported that he gets up at 2:30 or whatever to have a workout at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. And, we see them on Kevin Hart podcast getting in the ice buckets and freezing cold, or balls freezing or some shit like that. Still in great shape. To be 72, he put a lot of people to shame, black and white. And they say black don't crack. But, I know as far as the makeup and the shit they put on his face. But I mean, just meaning what he's able to do, getting on the treadmill, working out, and to be 72 and still have stamina enough to get up early in the morning. Some people just getting out of their bed at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? I get up at 4 to pray, 5, depending on when the sun rotates and what time prayer to come in. And then sometimes I'll start my day after that, or sometimes I go back to sleep and then get up 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, what have you. But, to get up that early and still have the energy to win and play the curve and get nauseous watching the spin is definitely amazing in itself. But are you tired of seeing SkiP BaYLess? I mean, I wasn't a big Fox Sports Network type of guy. I click over, see some clips on YouTube when I be running through these YouTube streets, running through these social media platforms, and they should have never let me, right? And so I didn't really see a lot of SkiP, takes since he left ESPN. That's the network that I rock with. I guess it's like the iPhone and the Android. If you with iPhone, then you with iPhone. As soon as they come out with the new one, then you upgrading. If you with Android, then you with Android. And that's like a lot of consumers. People like what they like. They like the characters or the personas and the personalities that they like. And even though I did rock with SkiP, it partially was because he was going against Stephen A. And he always was going against LeBron and Stephen A. at that time was always taking up for LeBron. And obviously Stephen A. hate the Cowboys, and SkiP, he loved the Cowboys. So it was a good dynamic, back and forth. And I'm sure, Shannon Sharp carried that mantle over there on Undisputed. But now that the reign is over, and like every good thing, shit must come to an end, where do you see him landing at? Do you see him hanging up the Jordans, so to speak, and retiring, and or coming back like the 4-5 on some Mike Jordan shit and going to another network? Will he go the independent route like full time, or will another network, pick him up? I think he'll stay independent, or I think he might slide over to like a FanDuel TV or like one of those sports betting apps where somebody might pick him up and he may do a joint partnership and get another bag and still, give his takes, just not on a big network. Because nowadays, everybody got a podcast. Everybody from all your favorite rappers got podcasts. From Fat Joe to Killer to Noriega to the JeTs to anybody you could think of. They all speaking. The Mano, Angela Yee, and everybody got a podcast. They left the rapping to jump on podcasts. And, everybody reinvented some LL, Rock the Bells, him and Nice from Nice and Smooth. Like anybody you could probably think of besides Hove and Nas, niggas got podcasts. You know what I'm saying? And it's no knock. They get into the bag. They already had celebrityism or popularity from rapping. Now they just transfer it over to talking shit on the podcast. And what 50 Cent say, I get what you get from one brick to talk greasy. Like, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? And I think he'll go the independent route, or I think he'll probably end up venturing with one of these gambling sports networks and what have you. Where you think he gonna go? Do you think he should retire, or you still want to see SkiP BaYLess giving his unthinkable takes? But y'all know who it is. It's your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.